For anybody
Oh,
that
look
can
at
see
that.
the screen, D. Ooh, I hit the button late. That was a belch, everybody. There is no belch in the title.
This is your spoiler alert warning. The boys are going to talk about a TV show or movie they recently watched. So it's your own damn fault if they ruin it for you.
Okay, so we are about to talk about a movie. I saw your note, Professor, so I'm good. I get to go first. Let me get a.
You like how that works? I didn't even know if you were going to see it, so that's cool.
No, that worked out perfect. So let me get something on screen so that we can have a picture to go to.
It is.
For anybody that can
look at
see
that.
the screen, D. Ooh, I hit the button late. That was a belch, everybody. There is no belch in the title. So take that belch out. Let's start over. D.
Next time you have to say the word.
N-E. Dune.
Dune.
We hyped it up, meaning I hyped it up,
did.
and then I made you hype it up. We promoted HBO Max. We were like, you can see it the first day on HBO Max. You can go to the theaters. And Tick is ready for his review.
It did 41 million at the theater, by the way.
Which is really good considering the fact that you could stay home and stream it for free. And I think they had a huge streaming number. So here is my entire review. Are you sitting down? And I will use the
I am sitting down. Do you want me to stand up for this?
No. That would be an ovation. No, we're not doing it. Let me see if I can get all of the words in my head. Okay. Yep. I want to make sure they're in the right order.
Oh, wait, I'm going to take a drink.
I'm going to take a drink too.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm going to channel my inner Ryan Reynolds.
Yep. You got it.
Channeling it.
I'm stretching for you, so we're good.
It's my whole review. I have nothing more to say.
Nice.
So. And now you get to speak for at least 5 minutes on your review, as it is now your turn.
My review of Dune. Dune, first off, if you haven't read the book, it's a very slow moving book. It's a very long, kind of boring and awesome at the same time book. It could be boring and awesome. You know, there's things that are boring and awesome. And this is one of those things. But let me tell you about this movie. Visually stunning. Colors, everything was awesome. Acting, spot on. All the flashbacks, spot on. I watched it so late at night that I fell asleep an hour and 10 minutes into it. And I thought that they were going to jam pack everything into the last hour and like 20 minutes. And I'm glad they didn't. Because that would have sucked, and that would have been like, it sucks.
I agree.
There is a big cliffhanger, but I think the next installment is going to move very fast. And it's going to be action-packed, and lots of stuff are going to happen. Everything's going to clear up.
Now, before you give your son's review, I will give you an extended. This is the director cut Tick extended review.
Okay.
As soon as I saw the title screen literally says Dune Part 1.
Yes.
My head went, we are screwed. Period. I was so angry. I was like shaking my fist in the air. Literally, we got about 3/4 the way through, and I said the same thing. There is 0% chance that they are wrapping this up. I know the book. I've read the book. I've seen the 1984 version. I'm like, they're never wrapping this up. So they get to the end.
Of course not, no.
And two things about the end. Apparently, if you go to see it in the movie theater, there's a post-credit scene.
Oh.
Apparently. That did not exist on the HBO Max version. Next, as soon as we finished the movie, because I watched it with my partner, KJ. As soon as we finished, I went like this, grabbed my phone.
Yeah.
When's the next part coming out? And do you know what I read, Professor? Because I watched it so early. Do you know the words?
It probably said millions of people are wondering the same thing, but they have not gave it a go yet.
Exactly. It said
Yep.
HBO Max and Warner Brothers has not greenlit part 2. As soon as I read that, I said that is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life. How in the world do you make part 1 of a multi-part show or movie and not have the second part greenlit, period? Especially with the amount of hype they put into Dune. Now, since that fateful day, they apparently have said yes to it,
Right.
because I literally read this the other day. Let me see if I can find it. It literally said,
You can do better. It said you can do better.
It said you can do better. No, it was Variety magazine, which is a real deal magazine. It's not like our magazines that we read. And they said, even though it's greenlit, Warner Brothers hasn't said that they're making it yet.
Well, that kind of...
Even though it's greenlit. And that's what I said. Okay, so review number 2 for you, meaning your son's review.
My son's review was like, is something going to happen? And I was like, no, not until like the last 20 minutes. And he's like, you mean I have to sit through an hour or 2 hours of this movie and nothing's going to happen? I'm like, but very important things happen. It's called character buildup. And this is a good lesson for you if you're ever going to learn how to build up characters and backgrounds and stuff.
I agree.
So you should sit through it and watch it. And he said, no.
And he went and played Fortnite. And that was the end of the story.
He said, tell me how it ends. And I said, it's a cliffhanger. It's one of those things where they went, hey, we're going to... And then it stops.
Yeah. It made me so angry. And the reason that... Okay, so even more frustrating. George Lucas revised extended cut director's revision of my original review. Because I'm channeling my inner George Lucas. So I'm going to add...
Just don't channel your inner Hayden Christensen, because that would suck.
No, I won't do that. So I'm basically going to add Jabba the Hutt to my director's cut, and we're going to change.
I get it. He's going to
so.
walk. Yeah.
You got it. So, when you're watching the movie, spoilers alert, there are flash forwards to the future.
Yes.
How in the F do you have a flash forward to the future for a movie that you've never made and then will never possibly come out? My head literally went.
Right.
And George Lucas, full-on spatial effects in both directions in both ways.
But, if you were ever going to make a movie where you're like, I'm going to get them to 100% say yes to the next movie, you shoot scenes for the next movie and put them in this movie.
And I have to say, that was a wise director's decision, because David Lynch, who made the 1984 version, basically what he did was he said, I can make Dune and I can make it into a single film. And they said, sure, here's money. He made the film, and he goes, oh, here's my cut. 4 hours and 17 minutes. And they went, yeah, we're going to cut this down to 90 minutes. And he goes, no, it won't make any sense. And shockingly, if you watch the 1984 Dune theatrical release, it is horrific, because it's like, it's almost like watching any kind of YouTube video. It's like jump cut. Jump cut.
Of course.
Nothing makes any sense. They jump here, they jump there. And so the extended Dune release, which came out years later, which was the director's cut, well worth the effort. It's like, I don't know, it's close. It's Lord of the Rings long. That's the exact length. It literally says that on the box. It says time of movie, Lord of the Rings length.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just wish that they would have greenlit part 2 and he filmed them both at the same time.
100,000,000%, because there's going to be continuity issues. Like, what if Zendaya decides, F you, I've got a better gig with Nickelodeon, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And then recast.
Get Willow Smith.
And they recast. Because how Hollywood is. Hollywood does crap like that all the time. Like, they just don't care. They're like,
what about if Batista says, hey, I'm not playing this role anymore?
Well, he
like
died
he did
already.
with Drax.
Oh, no, he didn't die already. Sorry. The other guy died already. Whatchamacallit.
Hey, don't say anything. We're in the land of spoilers.
Oh, you know what was funny? While we were watching it, I was literally telling my partner, I was like, oh, do you know who that is? And she's like, what are you talking about? In the Lynch version, I was like, do you know who that is? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's Jean-Luc Picard. That's Jean-Luc Picard. And then the next character would come on the screen and I go, oh, do you remember that show Quantum Leap? That's the Quantum Leap guy. He's going to backstab the family. He's going to, oh no, not Scott Bakula. It's the guy who has the little computer guy. It's the computer guy.
Oh, yeah.
He plays the doctor in the original one. Yeah. And that's the Twin Peaks guy. And apparently, like, once I watched it, you said to me, oh, have you seen Children of Dune? And I went,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Children of Dune was awesome.
And then you had to tell me that there's a 2000 release and a 2003 release, Dune, which was a sci-fi miniseries, and Children of Dune, also a sci-fi miniseries. Now, the funny thing is, I knew about the Dune sci-fi because I own it. Believe it or not, it's somewhere in the mess back there.
Yeah, it's great.
I own it. I don't think I've watched it, but like half of a time because I got through it and my head started going, I'm having a hard time with this. I
liked it. Yeah. Especially when they all started spitting every time they met each other. They're like, hey, how's it going? And you're just like, yeah, thank you. That's great.
yeah. And if you don't understand, there we go.
Thanks for watching this segment of the TP Show.